Hello there, internet viewers. Thanks for visiting me here. I know you have a lot of choices out there when it comes to accordion instruction, and I appreciate you clicking on this video, and I hope that I can keep you here past the 30-second mark. Today we're taking a trip down I-10, heading towards Houston and points east. Cleveland Crochet recorded his rollicking Sugar Bee in 1960 for Eddie Schuler's Gold Band Records. Its English lyrics and electric guitar made it a popular song all across Louisiana and Texas. Its distinctive accordion intro, played by Shorty Leblanc, easily translates to harmonica as well, which has made it a popular blues tune as well. In my arrangement of Sugar Bee, I have tried my best to keep the feel and the tone of Short's lead on the accordion. And then I've taken that and I've paired it with a couple of different bass patterns for the left hand that work well for a bluesy sounding kind of groove. Please visit my Facebook page at natebasingeraccordion for a copy of that score. You can also email me at natebasingeraccordion@gmail.com and I'll send you a copy. Now, before we dig into this song, let's talk about Cajun accordion. Cajun accordions, which are sometimes called melodeons, have 10 buttons on the right hand side, which produce different pitches depending on which direction the bellow is going. Now, anyone who's ever played harmonica before should be sort of familiar with this idea. Each note also has 4 sets of reeds. These are the stoppers that tell you, which set of reed is activated, and they're at different octaves. So it creates this very fat sound. Where does piano accordion come from? Now, most piano accordions do not have 4 sets of reeds like that Cajun accordion did. So what we have to do to kind of approximate that is use what's called a bandoneon setting. So on your accordion, if you have a button that has your low octave and then also your kind of middle octave, paired together, coupled together, is called bandoneon. And it sounds like that. So the best way that we can approximate that Cajun accordion sound is to use this bandoneon setting and utilize octave harmonies. So let's take a look at the melody. Now, I wrote it high because on my accordion it sounds better in that range. Now on your accordion, you may have to adjust it. It may sound better lower, especially if you have what's called a musette setting rather than the bandoneon setting. That's a bit too high, but I think it sounds good down here. So this song, I've divided it into 5 phrases, and each phrase you may just, if you don't have a proper bandoneon setting on your accordion, you may just have to adjust each phrase to where it sounds best in your accordion. You can mix and match however you like. It's totally cool. So if you look at your score, I've divided this into 5 phrases. Okay, so the first phrase of this would be the pickups to the song through measure 1, and that phrase is this: you have your hand up here in octave, and you go. Okay, so it's like your pinky's holding that note, and then these 2 notes come afterwards. Okay, that's phrase number 1. Okay, so phrase number 2 would be measure 2 through 4. Okay, so you're still in the same position, you just have more notes. Okay, so it's like this. So you have to do a little bit of an octave jump in there. Okay, so that's phrase 2. On your accordion, maybe you need to play it lower. I don't know. All right, so now let's look at phrase number 3. Okay, so phrase number 3, it kind of is when you go to the 4 chord. If you were following like a blues form, it's measures 4 through 7, and it's split into like 2 parts. And I'll show you kind of how that goes. Okay, so you're up here, still same register up high. If you're following my accordion anyway. Let me try that again. Okay, so you're still up here. You have one of those. Follow the finger numbers on the chart if you would. I think that's your best bet as far as making this happen. Okay, so let's move on to what I call phrase number 4, which is measures 7 through 9. Okay, so looking at my score, that's kind of when we go to the 5 chord, or at least we're kind of hinting at the 5 chord. You have this octave A. Okay, so let's start with lick number 5. It's a little bit tricky out of context like this. So if we review lick number 4, here's where 5 comes. Right. So we've got this. This is kind of like a. You're holding the E, and then your pinky and thumb are coming on the G on the downbeat of measure 9. And then the very last little bit you have, if you can get that little anticipatory kind of like grace note that I wrote in there, I think it kind of propels it in kind of a unique way. Right, so from lick number 4, which is on the 5 chord, that's more or less how it should sound, okay? So now we're going to look at the left hand. Alright, so I said we're going to look at the left hand. Here is what we've got going on. We have, it's a blues pattern. We have 3 chords, okay? We have the G chord, which is the 1, the C chord, which is the 4, and the D chord, which is the 5. I've chosen to do pretty much the same pattern for the C chord and the D chord, and then the 1 chord is slightly different, okay? I kind of think of this as like a boogie-woogie bass line, like what you might do on piano, okay? So you put finger 4, your ring finger, on G, bass note. Finger 3 on that G chord. And then your finger 4 reaches over to a C chord, and then finger 3 back to G, and then G bass. Okay, and that pattern cycles around. And you play it in a kind of swung 8th note fashion. The accent, put a little bit of accent on the C chord. Okay, this is a great bass line for French la-la and blues music. You know, you could do it fast. Okay, you can do any sort of blues that you want to, you know, Clifton Chenier style. It works great. Okay, so that's what we're doing over the G chord. Now, I altered a little bit for the 4 chord, right? When we go to C, rather than go, which is the same pattern, and you could do it, I thought that was a bit much. So I'm just doing a C bass note, C chord, and I'm alternating. I'm going, actually sort of similar to, if you watched my my video for like, well, Napolera or for Flor Machita, it's like the same bass line, only faster. Okay, over the 4 chord, and then also over the 5 chord. What I like to do is kind of maybe hold the bass note a little bit longer. So if you have a G chord, go. So that's the left hand, all right? This arrangement works well with or without the left hand. It's not exactly a 12-bar blues, but you could add a measure around measure 10 to make it a 12-bar if you like. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or email me at natebasingeraccordion@gmail.com. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it with them. And also be sure to check out my other videos and accompanying sheet music scores. Stay well, and as always, if you can't squeeze the people you love right now, at least you can squeeze your accordion.